I had to get the focus on. I ain't even know about yogurt. I may not have an answer for you today, but I do have a question for you today. And I watched some clips and stuff like that, and some videos throughout this week, and some of them were talking about faith and people having faith, and there's this one specifically going around, and about a very popular man in society currently, and he lost a debate because there was a mix-up of it being 20 atheists versus one. At first it was Christian, and then it was non-Christian, and so there was many videos and perspectives, and I don't really watch a whole lot of that stuff all the time because there's very few voices I let into my life, and I think that that's very important. But there are some I still let in general. Voices as in people that have some kind of sway, pull, or even a bit of my attention in my life, which I think is important. But it got me thinking, and there was a commentation that, I heard that was kind of against any of that in general, and something that really popped up, that really hit me and made me think for a moment, was this thing about blind faith. And so there's the wondering if Christians have blind faith. It's not the whole thing. It's just kind of what I started trekking on, because I'm like, you get bumped. Because I'm wondering, I'm like, do we live in blind faith? Like, is that true? And so I was wondering for a second. I'm just like, okay, well, is it blind faith? So I thought. I prayed and prayed. And here's some things that kind of came up. So one of the things I meant to do was kind of look this up. So I'm going to relook at it, and I may even rehash this at another day. But, if blind faith is what I'm believing that it is, it being, something where we believe in something, but we have no evidence for it, and we're just kind of blindly believing it with no questioning and no questions at all, the answer to that would definitely be no. That is not the faith that I live in. That's not what I believe in. That's not where I'm at. And it's unfortunate because people think that is what Christians are, and that's what Christians do, and that's just not true. True believers, true Christians, like, that's not true at all. Ooh, somebody's Tesla. Those Teslas look really nice. I bet you have to have some level of faith to believe that they wouldn't blow up. Most people don't think like that. But there's a faith element. You've heard them blowing up somewhere. And so there's a faith element for you that if you hop in that car, it may explode, but you're believing that it won't. But any of our cars could explode right now. But there is a peace in you, and a hope in you, a faith in you, that is probably not going to happen. Otherwise, you wouldn't have drove today. You wouldn't have drove today. Your phone could have exploded in your face as well. But you're probably watching this video. It didn't explode. Isn't that interesting? We have more faith in that than we do believing that there's something above us, some kind of God above us. Very interesting. I don't know. I just think that it's kind of interesting. Look at me, I finally parked. And so I just kind of wanted to bring that maybe to your attention and maybe give you some of that perspective, because at the end of the day, that's kind of where a lot of us are at. Where we're hearing things and then we just kind of live by them, and we believe that they're true and they're not true. So people believing that Christians have blind faith, that's not true. It's not true at all that we have blind faith. As a matter of fact, there's enough evidence within our faith. Oh, that bird's doing a mating ritual. He's dancing around mates. Now they're fighting. there's enough evidence to at least bank on the fact that whatever true Christians and true believers believe in, like, there's enough to at least say, you know what, there's something here. I can at least rock with that. Because people think that blind faith, we just believe in this God and this God, and we're just worshiping this God that we've never seen. And to a certain extent, we are. We haven't really seen him physically, but a lot of us have felt his presence. A lot of us believe him through his word, through his divine word. Yes, written through man, but that man was spoken to by God and given words, or a lot of it was just kind of historical writings, stories, things inside of people. It's the same thing with people that write poetry. A lot of times the same things where people have the ability to just write fiction and nonfiction. Now, unfortunately, people kind of mix the two up. They're like, well, you can just make this up. But a lot of the people in the Bible, I do believe, not all the authors could have made it up. Because the Bible wasn't made by one person. It was made by several people in different times. A lot about historical things that actually happened. That history even claims, hey, yes, these things did happen. That science claims, yeah, some of these things did happen. Or we're not too sure, but there's evidence that it could have. That's what's really unique about the Bible. That's what's really unique about it. But people don't know that or aren't looking to seek that out. And I think it's important that we do. I think it's important to seek out the truth if you're wanting to actually know what it is. And if you're not wanting to know what it is and you're not seeking out the truth, you want to remain ignorant. And that's not good. Stop.